Hey fam, listen, this is Bishop M. Moore, and I'm again excited for this privilege to be able to share what we believe is the most important compilation of information that has ever been put together. We call it the Bible. My mentor would say it is the most essential information by which you and I can build our lives. We started a series on this past week, well, on this past Sunday to be exact, uh, talking about resourcing your business, resourcing your business. If business is a distribution system to get what you have to offer out to others, then it has to be resourced. It has to be resourced. And we attempted on this Sunday, past Sunday, to lay the foundation from the perspective of informing us of someone that has unlimited resources, and that individual or that entity, that being is God. And so we pray that you are able to go back, and if you hadn't heard or checked it out yet, go back and do so. But those that were with us on this past Sunday, we told you that, first of all, it has to be personal. Secondly, understanding this personal engagement or personal relationship that you now have taken on with God. It gives him the ability to do what he wants to do for you anyway, and that is to provide. And lastly, it's because of prioritization, putting everything and every person in its proper place. I want to continue in that vein. If you would journey with me to the writings of 2 Corinthians, chapter number 9 and verse number 8. And these are the words from the New Testament writer, the Apostle Paul. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. I want to use for a subtopic in this particular discussion for our Learn and Live broadcast. I want to talk from this thought. I got you. If you feeling me already, just put that in the chat. I got you. I wanted to open up this way because it made me reflect and reminisce from this perspective of going somewhere that might be upscale, that might be average, and someone else picking up the tab of the meal that you purchased. And they said this simple statement: I got you. Not because they had to do it, but because they chose to do it. They paid not only for what they purchased, they paid for what you purchased. I hope you're tracking already. We have a God that paid a price that he did not owe, for those of us that owed a price that we could not pay. Jesus Christ became the propitiation, the substitute, the fill-in that filled up generations and decades and eons of bad behavior by becoming our sacrificial lamb on Calvary's Hill. In essence, Jesus said through his life, his death, his burial, and his ascension, I got you. Paul is writing to this church at Corinth in this particular passage. And basically, he's suggesting to them the importance of continuous generosity. Not only giving when it's comfortable, but even moving to the posture of being able to give when it's not as convenient. He's encouraging them to practice this lifestyle of generosity. And so much so, just like he wrote in the book of Philippians to the church at Philippi and says, in essence, and my God will take care of you. All of your needs according to his riches through Christ Jesus. These are the words of the Apostle Paul about the generosity of a church, not only when he needed it, but also when he didn't need it. Do we only rise to the occasion when we sense that there's a need, or do we practice the lifestyle of generosity? My mentor, Dr. Darius Daniels, would say it this way, that when you have something to offer, you have something to give that can help someone else, and you don't do it, that's being selfish. With something, a gift, talent, an ability that you didn't do anything to earn, God gave it to you. Or you were born with it. I want that to settle right there. And so I can remember on so many different occasions, because my wife and I try very hard to practice a lifestyle of generosity, where I would always be the one, whenever we were out somewhere, to voluntarily say, I'll pick up the tab. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Not knowing what some other individuals had ordered, because I understand the principle of generosity. I want to dig into this a little bit today, and prayerfully it will be an asset to you in a way that it causes you to do like I've done. Because have you ever been generous and felt unappreciated in your generosity? Have you ever gone above and beyond and not feel valued by the person you went above and beyond, or the entity, the organization that you went above and beyond for? And if you've ever been in that space like me, it made me reluctant, hesitant, and in some cases unwilling to continue to pour the way, or to give the way that I was once giving. And what this lesson and the Bible teaches, something totally different. Now, I'm not saying being frivolous and foolish, because we have to steward our gifts, our talents, our abilities, everything that God has trusted with us well. But God didn't give you what he gave you for you to sit it up on a shelf as a trophy. He gave it to you to use it as a tool. Did you hear did you catch that? He gave you what he gave you to use it as a tool, not to sit it on a shelf as a trophy. In other words, there's someone, some place, some expression and experience that needs what you and I have to offer. And the reason he could be so bold and say, I know where it came from, I gave it to you. And so access granted with no restriction. That's what he's saying. That text actually suggests us, this Corinthian text, that God says, I can give you access. Access granted with no restriction. I hope you're catching that, people. We're talking about wherever you need to go and whatever you need to do, no matter the obstacles, God says, I got you. No matter where you need to go or what you need to do, no matter the obstacles, God is saying, I got you. And what I'm attempting to prayerfully, skillfully share and show you throughout the Bible and through my own personal experience, that the obstacles, the Jericho walls, the Red Seas, the droughts, the famines, the betrayals, the denials can't stop God. And so if you're in partnership with God, it can't stop you. Access granted with no limitations. I don't know if you've ever gone into a space or a place that had some restrictions and you needed a special badge, you needed a special key code, etc., to be able to go beyond a certain point. What I've come to prayerfully help us understand that we've got to take the limits off because we serve an unlimited God. Can we dig a little bit deeper? Come with me to the text of the night or the day, depending on which time you're watching this particular broadcast. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. You will abound in every good work. I want to highlight a couple of words in this particular passage. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Let's unpackage this, if you will. Who's able? God. Okay. This word able deals with having the ability or the power to do it. It's one thing for somebody to be able to make a statement or to say what they can do. It's another thing for them to be able to do it. God says, I'm able to do what? Bless you abundantly. Listen, there was another, the King James translation said, God is able to make all grace, all favor. I heard my mentor phrase it this way: favor is the unearned, uncommon, unexplainable preferential treatment. Can I say that again? So when he's talking about blessing you, favoring you, favor is the unearned, uncommon, unexplainable preferential treatment of God. It's when God does for you and me in a way that is nothing that we did to deserve it. We didn't earn it. It's uncommon. It's unexplainable. Preferential treatment. It's because he prefers it to be this way. Oh boy. He just decided that he was going to give you what he gave you. He was going to give me what he gave me. And our responsibility was to walk in that faith. Put some fire in the chat. Say something. I'm walking in his favor. I'm walking in what I didn't earn. I'm walking in what's uncommon. I'm walking in what's unexplainable. preferential treatment. God is able to bless you abundantly. Okay? Another translation uses the word abound. God is able to favor and cause all things to abound. Abundantly. Above measure. Okay? Excessively. And this is validating what we said on Sunday, that if you just get what you ask for, most of the time, now I'll go deeper. I'll step out on the ledge if I'm stepping out there by myself. All of the time, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you're able to think or ask, according to the power that worketh in you. I can exceed your expectation. I can exceed whatever you ask for. And so he says, based off of what you purpose in your heart, let me give context to the text. It's about being generous. And he's saying, when you demonstrate your generosity to others, I'm going to demonstrate my generosity to you. Help me, somebody. When you share your generosity to others, God says, I'm going to share my generosity with you. In other words, he won't be outgiven. If you go back and read verse 7, he says, give accordingly as you purpose in your own heart. Let every person give. But then right after that, he comes with this 8th verse and said, God is able to bless you how? Above measure. Excessively. Without limitation. Why? So that in all things at all times, that got me, y'all. In all things at all times. Wait a minute. The unearned, the uncommon, the unexplainable preferential treatment that he's now giving you and I based off of our generosity, he says, I'm going to take it to another level. So that in all things at all times, wait a minute. In all things at all times. Nothing that I'm in. And no season that I'm in it matters. Oh. In other words, you all, what I'm suggesting and saying to you, that just because it's happened that way for others, it doesn't mean it has to happen that way for you. Well, you know, when I was where you were, this happened. That was you. That's not me. And so people will put their time stamps and limitations on you because of what happened or did not happen for them. So he says that in all things, at all times, no matter where I am, God says, I got you. When? In all things. At all times. Having all that you need. There we go again, y'all. That Philippians 4:19. All your necessities. So whatever I need for the assignment that I have, God is saying, if it honors me, it helps others, I got you. And I don't know if you've been there yet, but if you keep on serving and serving in a way that honors him, God has people on his payroll that's been assigned to help you and I. Huh? Watch. Here it is, you all. So I'm going to cause you to be blessed abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need. I got all that covered. Watch why that you are bound in every good work. You will excel at what you're doing. So now he removes any form of justification for you and I not doing what he's assigned us to do. Did you catch that? You have no reason. You have no justification, no rationale. I wanted to give you some keys. So he says, I'm doing all this so that when you're doing your work, you can do it so well that the world has got to recognize it. You're supposed to do a good work, not just go to work. I was meeting with a team of our ministry staff as we were deliberating about a decision, and we were meeting with a possible partner in helping us service our people and others well. And the presenter was so extraordinary in being informed and on top of her information. And watch this. She says, with her information, she never verbally said this, I'm so sure at what we offer and how we do it that we'll let you know about the competitors' prices as well. We're going to tell you what their prices are, what our prices are, and you make the decision. And based off of what and how she presented and what she shared and the confidence in which she shared it, I told the team before we got off the phone with her, hey, she got one vote going in that direction. And so as we wait to hear back from the rest of our team members in reference to this, because she did a good work. And she says, I get to work with ministries. And you could see that she found fulfillment. She found pleasure. She was excited about it because it was a good work. And I don't know if you're viewing what you get the privilege to do. In whatever area you work in your family, in your ministry, or you're working on yourself, it should be the ultimate desire. This gonna help me make me better. It's gonna allow me to do what I do even more effectively. A good work. Y'all, I want to give you a couple of things that particular verse. The first thing that it reveals who has the ability, because it starts off by saying, and God is able. He has unlimited ability. Remember, I told you on Sunday that he has unlimited ability that he can speak to climates and cause waters to part. He can deal with animals and cause them to go against their nature temporarily. And then, y'all, he can deal with people and cause them to be generous in a way that they possibly would not have been. Or they have an attitude of gratitude and know where it all came from. He has ability. He has the capacity. He has the power, y'all, to do it. God is able to make it bless you abundantly. But then, y'all, that abundantly is that excessiveness. In essence, He's saying, not only can you trust me, I want to be able to trust you. I want to be able to shower you with what's uncommon, what's unearned, what's unexplainable. And you give me my props. You acknowledge that I got involved in your affairs. I put a thought in your head. I put an idea in your thoughts. I gave you ability that wasn't from your family pool. I've taken and put something extraordinary in you to be able to service others. He says, not only am I able, not only do I have the power, I can do it in a way that excels beyond your expectation. Abundance. And because we've got to get rid of this staggering, limiting beliefs. Think how I phrased it last month, lingering limiting beliefs. Because whatever has your eyes has your focus. I said, whatever or whoever has your eyes has your focus. And if you're looking at it from how you see it, perception leads to performance. You might accept something in a way that it wasn't intended for you to accept it. Watch this. Not only does he have ability, not only is it abundant, but y'all, that all things at all times. Wait a minute. The third thing I saw, he has adaptability. Ability, power. Abundance, excessively. Adaptability. He says, no matter how it turns, I don't. I can turn up wherever you need me to turn up. I can show up wherever you need me to show up. I can do whatever you need me to do. Says, watch this. Not only can I give it to you, I can make sure it stays with you. All things at all times. So no matter what time it is, no matter what thing it is, God says, I got you. And all that you need. And I don't know about you, my needs sometimes change. My needs sometimes change. One of the things in my studies that I've learned, statistics say that every 7 to 10 years, people change. And if you with me, don't put the 7 or the 10. You know, between might be the day or tomorrow. But he's so much of who he is. Whatever season you're in, he's able to adapt to it. In one season, you need him to be peace. Jehovah Shammah. Jehovah Salom. In another season, you needed him to be victory. He's Jehovah Nisi. Another season, you need him to be a shepherd. It's Jehovah Rapha. And so the times change, the things change, but God remained the same. Why? Because even though seasons have changed for you, he's the same. You had to adapt to how you saw him. I had to adapt to how I saw him. But then lastly, you all, he says, you'll abound in every good work. Y'all, this is where it got me. I saw the ability, I saw the abundance, I saw the adaptability, but then I saw accelerate. What do you mean, preacher? For every good work. See, every day that you and I are allowed to live out our purpose in time, we're supposed to be doing good works. And in some cases, the good work happened quickly. And in other cases, I had to develop some more for it to become a good work. So some things happen fast, some things happen slow. But it happened. We're supposed to continue to do good works. Let me get out of here. I think in essence, the moral of this lesson, y'all, is to get you to embrace generosity because you're embraced by generosity. The air you breathing is based off of generosity. The things you've survived, and I've survived, that's based off of generosity. The things that we were wrong for in one season, but we're right for in this season, is based off of generosity. Him freely and generously giving us time, giving us ability, giving us partnership. And so how we give back is a reflection of the gratitude we have toward the giver. Did y'all catch all of that? One of my favorite scriptures in the entire Bible is found in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. Isaiah 40 and 31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not get weary, grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Man, this is loaded. I'm not going to spend a lot of time unpackaging that, but let me give you a synopsis of it in totality. This whole chapter is centered around showing the greatness of God. And look at the language in which Isaiah, that eagle-eyed prophet, writes in. He said, "But those that hope," expectation, anticipation, who? In the Lord. In the other translations is Yahweh, okay? It's capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. Is another term we use, Jehovah. It's that covenant God. Covenant making, covenant keeping God. Watch what he says. "For those that hope in me, I'm making covenant with you." And this covenant, look at how the correlation between 2 Corinthians 9 and 8 and Isaiah 40:31. "I'll renew their strength. Watch, y'all. This word strength is ability. It's power. I'm going to renew your ability, your power. And then he says, this is how it's going to look. I want you to get the picture. They'll soar on wings like eagles. That's zoomorphic. He's using animal-like attributes to help us see how he sees us. Wait a minute. Thank you, Holy Ghost. In 2 Corinthians 9, God says, I want you to see me. 2 Corinthians 9 and 8, God says, I want you to see me. So at the end of it, you can see you. And Isaiah comes back and says to us as we close, because when you really partner with me, not only do I have you, I'm going to let others know I have you. Because you're going to be able. I'm going to give you the ability. I'm going to demonstrate abundance. I'm going to give you adaptability. And lastly, I'm going to cause you to accelerate. Mount up on wings as eagles. So the mounting up is symbolic of elevation. It's time to go up. But then he says they'll run and not grow weary. That's acceleration. To do it speedily. And then he closes by saying they will walk and not be faint. So he says, I'm not going to let you get tired to the point of exhaustion. So you got elevation, you got acceleration, then you got duration. I'm going to let you behave. I'm going to let you live in a way that when there's a drought for you, for others, it's a walk in the park for you. Because how he allowed me to see it in my closing statement is simply this. Incremental and instantaneous progression is a part of the believer's life. In other words, he can do it slow or fast. But however he does it, he makes sure it lasts. I say he can do it slow or fast. But however he does it, he makes sure that it lasts. Same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And so what he did in the picture narrative that Isaiah paints, what he did as Paul reveals him having the ability. Y'all, he wants to do it for you and I. But will you take what you have and use it in a way that it honors God, that it helps others, and it will ultimately benefit you? This is Bishop A.M. Moore. This has been my time. Hope you've learned something, that it helps you live it out. God bless. Till next time. Peace.